Hello, business owners and managers. Wes Walters here, and welcome to another CX Quickie. Customer experience content real quick so that you can get back to running your business. How is everyone doing today? This one is going to be real quick, real quick. So I was in Houston, Texas. Beautiful Houston, man. I love Houston. Houston, Texas last week. Not for that event, for another event. No, I wasn't there. I was there with my son and had an interesting situation. So it's very hot. If you're familiar with Houston this time of the year, a lot of people who are watching from the UK, Houston this time of year is it's like 2 degrees above hell. It's very hot. So we were in Houston last week, my son and I, for a little man's trip. And so we called an Uber. All right. Now, this is going to be me from another side of the equation. This is me as a not as a business owner, but actually as a customer. So this review is kind of like as a customer. So, and I want to let you know, as the power you have as a customer, you don't have to lay down and take abuse or bad customer service. You can, if you stay to the end, I'll show you how you can exercise your power. So we were in Houston, called the Uber or Lyft. So this is not a shame, or this is not to belittle Lyft or Uber. I'm not sure which one it was, but I called one of those applications, used one of those applications, and the driver pulled up. And so I had some work to do for a client that I needed to complete on my phone. And I needed it to be done before we got to the next location, because when I got there, I'm practicing mindfulness. So when I got there, I wanted to just dedicate the time to be present with my son. So I needed to get this work done for my client before I got to the next location. So when I got into the car, I asked the gentleman, I said, hey, you asked if this is Wes. I said, yes. And I asked him, hey, can you turn the music down? Because the work that I needed to do, normally I can work with noise, but whenever it's work that requires critical thinking, I need silence. I'm old school. I know these kids nowadays. I went to a couple of years ago, I went to school. I did a pop-up in my kids' school, and the teacher is playing music during the test. I was like, I would never be able to learn in that environment. So the teacher is playing music during the test. I'm different. I just can't learn when it's critical thinking. Now, if it's something that's lightweight, for sure you can have music on. And it wasn't music. This lady had hip hop, sing along hip hop, right? But anyway, so what I was doing for this client was critical thinking, required critical thinking. And for me, anything that requires critical thinking, I need total silence, isolation. So I asked the driver, I said, hey, do you mind turning the music down? Not off, just down for the ride. What was his response? You would think, because I'm the customer and he is here to serve, that, something as easy as turning the music down. Now you have all day for the rest of the day to blast the music. But just for this 5-minute ride, hey, maybe I should appease the customer. Maybe I might get a bigger tip. Maybe it's just the right thing to do to wow the customer, to welcome them to Houston, to show them Southern hospitality in my city. This is how it's done. You would think that's the way it would be done, right? Wrong. So I said, hey, do you mind turning the music down? I have some work I need to get done before I get to the next location. His response was, nah, bro, the music stays on. And he turns it up. I wish I was recording this, because this was like a deleted scene from the Dave Chappelle show, right? So I looked at my son, and my son is like, I digress. So, needless to say, the music went up. So it was a Trap City ride to my next location. The Trap City. The trap music went up. So, needless to say, I'm upset. I'm very upset now because now I still have to get this project, this information over to the client. They don't care if I'm in an Uber. They're like, hey, you said it was going to be done at 10. 10 is going to be done. So I put my my earbuds in, and if you have wireless Bluetooth, there's a feature that you can have ambient sound, or you can have you can block out the sound. So I activated the block out the sound. It wasn't 100% because, again, the speaker is right behind my head, but it was a little better. Now, again, it's summer in Houston, so it's hot. All right. So I'm dressed accordingly. I'm in a t-shirt, probably a white t-shirt because I want it to be real light, cotton, shorts, sneakers. I'm trying to be as comfortable in this heat as possible, right? So now the car is freezing, which, again, if you're outside the car, when you get in, it's very refreshing, very refreshing. But after about 2 minutes after you cool down, it's uncomfortably cold, like freezing. Like, not sure who his mechanic is, but his AC was blasting and it was working very well. Now, I am in no way a shy person, not in any way, shape, or form, right? But because of his response in something as simple as, hey, can you turn the music down, not off? This is your car. I'm never going to go into someone's car and, demand something. This is his car. So I didn't, I wasn't making orders like, you better turn the music down now. No, of course, you know me, not me. I said, hey, do you mind turning the music down? I used the word because. It was like, hey, I want you to turn the music down because I'm working on this project. So I let him, it wasn't like turn the music down because I'm the boss. No, never. That was not my tone. It was, hey, do you mind turning the music down because I have to work on this project? Because anyone who's been started following this channel, once you ask for something and you say because, the buy-in goes up tremendously. So I gave him the because. I'm like, hey, do you mind turning the music down because? He said, nah, bro, music stays on. He turned it up. All right. So I'm on my trap ride in Uber, right? And because of his reaction to just something as simple as turning the music down, I was reluctant to ask him to turn the air down. It was like, I don't want to get shot. Like, I'm like, look, I don't want no smoke, no problems. Plus, I got my son, so I'm very cautious. If it's me alone, I would have been like, hey, bro, man, turn the music down. Or if it was me alone, I'd have been like, hey, you know what? No worries. Drop me off. I'll get another Uber. That would have been my response if I was alone. I'd be like, look, because I need to work on this project. If you can't give me the ride, no problem. Hey, wish you a great day, and I'll just get another Uber. But because I had precious cargo, my son, I have to be mindful. And I'm like, okay, no bucking. I'm in his city. Let's just enjoy the ride. We'll deal with it when we get there. So because I was with my son, I was freezing, very uncomfortable. And so freezing to another level because, remember, we were sweating. We got out from outside in Houston heat, sweating. So our clothes are wet and we get into a freezing car. I'm like, hey, please. It's taking longer than 5 minutes because of the traffic. Do you mind? No, that's what I would have done. But I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do that because his initial response to the music already told me, he already set the tone. So there's so much to unpack here. His initial experience, his first impression, we always talk about the 3 pillars of supreme customer experience: the first impression, the connection, the execution. So the first impression, his first impression was, I'm a jerk, I'm having a bad day. And that set the tone for the remainder of the ride. So let's just say he failed pillar 1. Just remember, you can, of the 3 pillars, all you need to have an awesome customer experience is 2 of the 3 pillars. So if you fail the first impression, you can still win with the connection, pillar 2, or pillar 3, the execution. So just because he failed with the first impression, pillar 1, does not mean that it's game over. You only need 2 of the 3 pillars of supreme customer experience to wow the customer. So he failed pillar 1, the first impression. However, he could have still recovered with the connection, pillar 2, or pillar 3, the execution. However, because the tone was set as like, listen, I am a jerk, I don't want to be bothered, it went downhill rapidly from there. So pillar 1, he failed the first impression. Now, at that point, I wasn't going to ask him to do anything else. I just want to get to my destination safely and get out his car because this is his car. So it seems as if, as the customer, you lost, right? At this point, hey, he got me there safely and I got out. My son and I, we were safe, no problem. And at this point, it seems as if it's over for you as a customer. Not so fast. How did I get, I don't want to say revenge, but how was I proactive with that treatment as a customer? So again, I'm on the different side of the equation now. You're like, hey, Wes is a customer? Yes, this is a customer's point of view. How do you get revenge, or how are you proactive? How do you say this is unacceptable as a customer? At the end of the trip, you have to rate the ride. Yes, scream all you want to. Nobody's going to hear you. At the end of the trip, of course, I rated him terribly. If there was, I think they need to add features where you can rate negative numbers, because he would have got a -5. If there's a way, Uber, Lyft, if you're listening, you should incorporate negative numbers where 0 is the floor. No. 0 is not bad. 0 should be the floor. -5 should be bad. +5 should be good. That's how you guys should do it. If you're looking for feedback, here's some feedback. 0 should be the floor. 0 should be, it was just down the middle, perfect. Because he would have gotten a -5. So as a customer, I don't want you to feel that, hey, at the end of the day, hey, you just win some, you lose some. Yes, in some cases, yes. But in this case, when there's a review involved, and if you're familiar with Uber or Lyft, the review comes automatically. The minute you launch the app again, it's like, hey, how was the ride with Johnny? Well, let me tell you a little bit about Johnny, Uber. Mr. Trap King Johnny. So as a customer, you don't have to just take bad customer service and move on. Yes, if time is at the issue, fine. But in this case, the minute I relaunched the app, it reminded me of the bad treatment. Hey, how was your trap ride with Johnny? Well, since we're talking about trap ride, let me tell you what happened with Johnny. So as a customer, in these instances, you can vote with your dollars. In this case, you can't ever say, I'm not going to be in Houston that often, so I can't remember Johnny. The next time I put or request a ride, I would say, hey, if it comes to Johnny, I decline. But you can vote with your dollars, and you can vote with your reviews. In this case, I voted with my reviews, gave him a negative review. Now, of course, I'm a consistent user of these apps, so my review is not like spam, because my reviews are high as a rider. As a driver, I gave him a negative review, which he deserved. So moral of the story is, as a customer, on the other side of the equation this today, as a customer, you do not have to take customer experience, bad customer service, or a customer experience that is not pleasing to you. You have 2 ways of voting and exercising your vote. 1, you vote with your dollars, and secondly, you vote with your reviews. All right, everyone have an amazing rest of the week, and see you guys tomorrow for customer experience in the evening. CX in the evening, tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Eastern. We will have CX in the evening, customer experience in the evening. You don't want to miss it. It's going to be a doozy. All the women who like lace fronts and weaves and all that shenanigans, you do not want to miss it. If you have a beauty supply store, you want to be there for that one. It's going to be a doozy, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.